1, 2, 3, 4 test. Good evening and welcome to the ATV Net, which is held every Tuesday night at 8 PM. I'm Neil, VK3BCU. Have a few apologies this evening. Peter VK3BFG, John VK3ATV and Ian VK3QL unfortunately couldn't be with us this evening, although Peter's been kind enough to give us a short couple of videos actually, so I'll be showing Peter's video very, very shortly. Stations that have checked in on the radio, RF-wise, Bob VK3BVR, Mark VK3PI and James VK3HB, and Richard VK3VRS. Talking about Richard, Richard is today doing the YouTube feed, so anyone that wishes to watch the YouTube feed, which is only a secondary option, hopefully you can watch it on RF if you can, but Richard's doing the YouTube feed this evening and also the Discord feed. So if you're having difficulty with your set-top box or your antenna's fallen down and you're not getting a good signal, just swap across to VK3VRS's YouTube feed. Today is going to be a lot of talk about nostalgia, the early days of amateur television. I'm not going to go back to the very, very beginning, but I will start talking later on about the early days of the repeater where we were on AM and the downlink was I think 579.25 and the uplink was 444.25250. So Peter's got a bit of a video on the early analogue days, and I've got a few videos that were taken today. There's been a lot of activity between Peter VK3BFG and Dennis 3YLH, Rob VK3IE, and a very poor attempt at me sending a signal across to Dennis, and I'll show it to you later. So get ready for Peter's video coming up right now. If my switching works correctly, it'll be very, very smooth, so please stand by if I get things right.
This is my original DJ4 LB AM television system. This here is the modulator, the little series modulator with 2 transistors, a little bit of a video amp there, and 38.9 crystal. So it comes out at 38.9 here. It then, together with the soundboard, which is here, sound mixes in here, then we come around here to the vestigial sideband filter, which doesn't do too bad a job, and then through here there's a little series, there's a shot gearing mixer in there, and then a few stages of transistor amp, and that then goes to down here to a step attenuator, so that I could control the RF level into the exciter, which is sitting there, which is actually a 40 watt module. Now that 40 watt module is going into the input port of the 500 watt amplifier, and you can see the 500 watt amplifier under there, or you can see the heat sink anyway, and then that goes into there, and the coaxial switch which sends the signal up to that coaxial cable, which is a bit of heliox, been there for quite a long time, and that goes out to my 88 element J beam. So I ran probably about 120 watts or something like that, and the report from Dennis 3YLH was a P5 picture, which is really good. The interesting thing here is I did have a monitor running, an analog monitor, which Dennis actually donated to me, and if I just run the exciter here, I can see the picture quite well, but I couldn't get any angle on anything. I put a little 3-element Yagi on it, I put a little whip on it, didn't seem to matter. I could get semblances of pictures there, but nothing really locked up and solid. So that was just an interesting scenario really there on the receiver. The video sources were that little fella there, which was quite handy at the time. It's a handheld video source with standard audio left and right out. And then this very old camera that I used for looking around the shack a bit and showing some cards. So that was basically the setup. Down here is the 50 volt power supply for the 500 watt PA. And I think I mentioned during the test that the 500 watt PA is a very, very stable thing. It's certainly all enclosed there, but just run up to 100 watts plus, no sign of any taking off or anything like that. An excellent amplifier. That's the little beam that I was trying to receive on. That with a little bit of a whip antenna. Trying to receive. The best receiving was basically putting it there. Couldn't really get a excellent picture back. So it was one of the interesting things about AM. I'm now outside the shack, and we'll just run up the tower to the top. Well, those 2 antennas there are for the repeater. But then right at the top of the tower, see a 6 metre beam, and then on top of that there's a grid pack, and then an 88 element J beam, which is what I was using for the AM test.
Right, it was a short video. It ended it shorter than I expected. Anyway, in the early days of amateur television, It was AM, and just as the repeater was really getting off the ground, I became interested in amateur TV, and I'm going to show you the boards that I was using at the time. Now, Bob Reed, VK3 BVR, used to be VK3WL, Ian Davis, VK3ATY, and Howard Ryder, VK3ZJY, produced a kit. And that's the documentation for the kit. And I think that actually came out probably in mid-80s. So these are the very, very early boards for AM transmission. Now that's the exciter board that put out, focus, that put out 100 milliwatts. It's a shame it won't focus, it always happens. That put out 100 milliwatts, that's the exciter board, 444250. And this is what we used to use prior to Mitsubishi modules. This was a discrete 3 transistor 10 watt stage. Now, because that was very narrow band, very, very sharp, you had to have one amplifier for 426250, which was the simplex frequency, and one of these for the input to the repeater, 444250. So because very, very sharp, unlike the modules, you had to have one of each. And this is the video modulator board there, and the sound modulator board. Now, as it happens, on the weekend, I went to the Moorabbin Hamfest, and believe it or not, much to my surprise, thanks to Mark III JMA for pointing this out to me, I scored a fully built up kit from that documentation, and it works. There's the 3 boards I've just described. The top one's actually the soundboard, slightly different. The exciter, the video board, the PA is just on the back there. I can swing that around the right way, there's the PA. And I actually sent a signal across to Dennis 3YLH, but if you can call it a signal, I'll show you the picture later on. So that was the early days of AM. Originally the repeater output was on 579250, but we lost that frequency and we had to have the downlink was 444250 and the uplink was 426, so we don't have the lower band anymore, the lower portion of 400 megs. So a bit of nostalgia there. Later on I'll show you some of the work that Dennis and Peter were doing, I think yesterday, with regards to transmitting signals to each other. So we're going to switch across to Steve, VK3TTF, who is already up on RTV1. So please switch across to RTV1 right now, and then Steve will be putting it straight back to me. You'll be hearing more from me about the old analogue days, so hang in there. So take it away, switch across to RTV1 right now, if I can get the right button. Right, okay, let's switch across to RTV1 right now.
Hello. Yes, my name's Stephen. This is my very first net that I'm actually broadcasting it. You might have seen me on some of the other bits and pieces just as I've been testing. I've actually built up a whole controller board for my transmitter, which I'll probably show off next week. This week got a couple of things, bit of an introduction, Moorabbin Hamfest, a little bit of shaky cam just to test out that, and a couple of little bits and pieces just to finish off with. So about me, I've been into electronics and things since I was about 10 years old, plugging things in and watching myself on TV since I've been in a nappy. For my career, AWS Cloud, systems admin, all computer IT related sort of area, definitely in the comms networking space. That's definitely been my favourite. For amateur radio, I only got my license last year in August. I went straight to advanced. I got foundation I think 2 weeks prior, just so I could get the ACMA to give me my call sign as soon as possible. So yeah, all licensed up there. So that's about it for me. What I will do is let's go over to a quick video of what and I'll just talk along with this one. This is what I actually came across with at the Moorabbin Hamfest. So this was actually a freebie that I got. Actually, it hasn't cut across that one. Now you should be able to see it. This is a freebie. This is a little TS encoder. It takes composite and SDI, just SD. but composite also with analog audio. So this actually creates a transport stream out of that. I do a bit of VHS restoration and bits and pieces like that, so that could be quite handy. Input, it's only MPEG-2, but to get a nice professional analog to digital conversion could be interesting. It boots up, it's got Cisco firmware, so that all seems to actually work. I just got to plug it in. So I plugged into the management port, you can see there, but I've got to set up the transport stream IP address, etc. there. So that'll be good to have a bit of a play with. That was a freebie I got. The next item I actually paid only $10 for. This is a 28 port gigabit PoE switch for $10. Tested all the ports, come up fine on a gigabit with PoE. Chucked SFPs in there with fibre, and it all works. So for $10 that was a bit of a steal as well. So very, very happy with that one. I also got a couple little wireless access point bits and pieces just to play with as well. Some old 5 gig 802.11a, a little print server I think as well. So yeah, interesting, but some good freebie stuff, and I think that was the MDRC actually giving that stuff out off the back of their bench, so that was really, really good. So what I'll do now, I want to go over to check my shaky cam. Let's try this. I need to change over to that one. Cool, when it hopefully actually starts. Come on, there we go. All right. So a couple of things. So this is my ATV controller board. This is obviously unbuilt. This is not what I'm operating off right now. I've got a video. Hopefully I can put up next week. Audio. Audio's too high. I'll move back a bit. So in a loop. That might have solved it. Is that better? Okay, I know what that caused. I had audio on through my shaky cam. Hopefully that's better for everyone. So yeah, this is my controller board, obviously unbuilt. I will show you, I can maybe put a quick video up today just of soldering one of the parts on it. But yeah, lots and lots of features. I'll go over what it can do, Ethernet, it's got a local oscillator, all sorts of stuff on there. So power control, sequencing, the works. So I will go over that one. But the other one I just wanted to show you is another little one I'm working on. Is I've got some boards made up here. These are just little SAW filters. I know you can get really cheap ones, and I should have left one out. I don't have one handy. But yeah, little board. So this is actually a 446 frequency one. So when you do receive for RTV, this can actually help filter out some of the other signals, like mandanin is quite strong coming in. So when you're actually trying to amplify specifically RTV, you're removing all the other overwhelming signals. So hopefully it actually picks that up a lot better. And this is actually designed to fit in a nice neat box. So I haven't actually done this one yet. Just got to drill some holes in the end, and it just slides in there. So I've also got an SMA one that I'll build up at some point as two. Yeah, we'll see how they go. I haven't actually tested those yet, but these little SAW filters cost about $7 or something like that off your favourite Chinese website. And yeah, easy way. They come in all sorts of frequencies. Can be really hard to find. Once you get on there, you'll find a few part numbers, and if you find the manufacturer for those, look up the part number for the frequency you want, and then search that part number. You'll get all sorts of frequencies that if you want something, and these have a really tight bandpass on them, so they are quite excellent for a lot of that stuff. So what I will do now is I'll flick over to maybe a video just showing some hot air reflow. Let me go back to that one, and I will pick up this video. So this is just a little test of the controller board that I was actually building. So this is the chip that actually does, it's what's called an I/O expander. This lets us give enough pins to control the relays and everything like that. And at the top of the screen there you can see the hot air reflow gun. I've turned off the audio because all you can hear is like a hairdryer basically going, but this is set at about 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and you'll see here the solder sort of goes into sort of a liquid temporarily, and then starts wicking up all onto the legs. So lots of surface mount parts on this board, but very easy to solder. So you watch that for a minute. There we go. It doesn't take long for the solder all to pick up. Cool. Yeah, so that's probably about it for today. I'll just cut back to me. So yeah, hopefully that was a good little introduction. Good stuff from the Melbourne Hamfest. Next week, I haven't actually watched it yet. I've recorded, I think it's about a 12-minute video for the actual construction of the controller and all the features that it's currently got or will have in the future. The website's quite basic but works right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Tomorrow night I'll actually be back behind the camera. I've actually got tickets to go and see Specs and Specs being recorded. So I'll be in a proper studio, not just a home studio tomorrow. So that should be pretty good. It's been quite a few years since I've been in an audience to a TV show recording. So that's me for the day. I think back to Neil now. So thank you very much.
Okay, that was great, Steve. That soldering is amazing. I find when I've tried that, the solder gets underneath the chip and then I'm in big trouble. You know, I've got some video that I took earlier today. This is a video of Peter sending a signal across to Dennis while H on AM TV. Now, because none of us was set up to actually do proper recording, there's a recording of Dennis recorded Peter on a TV set, put it on the repeater, then I recorded Dennis recording Peter off a TV set that I was looking at. So if that sounds confusing, watch the videotape. So this is a signal being sent from Peter 3 BFG to Dennis earlier today. So please stand by while I try and get my switching all done. Okay, so let's see, let's get started. I'll do a bit of a talk through. So there's my shack looking at a TV, and then Dennis's shack looking at Peter. So that's a signal AM TV today. Peter was sitting across to Dennis, so there's a TV within a TV within a TV. But I think that you get the point. You see what's happening there. So that's Peter's signal. All things considered, it's not bad. Of course, Peter was running, I think, quite a bit of power. That amplifier he was using earlier today, I think he was running one of those amplifiers, but he didn't need to. He's very close to Dennis. So just let that run. Eventually we see Peter's call sign to prove that it actually was him. So okay, we'll go on to the next video in a sec. There's my reflection. Okay, let's swing to the next video. And I think you will eventually see Peter's call sign. There we go. Yeah, so there you go, AM TV, nostalgia. Okay, now, I'll just bring it back to camera. We'll just let that finish. Yeah, a bit of fun, a little bit of fun, and brings back the memories of back in the very early 1980s, mid-1980s. Okay, so next up will be Joe, VK3TT. He's got a video for us. I don't know what it is, but as usual, it'll be something he's going to surprise us. It's always a surprise with Joe. And then Joe, if you could put it across to Mick, VK3CH, and then Mick straight back to me. So take it away, Joe. I'm on 2, you're on 2. It should be very quick, so take it away, Joe.
First of all, I've got to apologise to all of you guys who are more than capable of putting on a PL259 plug onto an RG58U coax. However, I must say, some people are still finding it difficult. There's been significant feedback and discussions and some friendly arguments about the best way to fit these connectors. The core of these issues seems to be whether it requires exceptional skill or simply a matter of following a straightforward process. Anyway, there is a way of doing it, and most people are successful in doing it. Some people, unfortunately, overthink the whole thing. If you're comfortable with projects requiring careful attention to detail, like model building, miniature paintings, or even assembling flat pack furniture, you probably have all the skills to master this. Hobbies and research and willingness to learn are the key aspects that people should address. Skills directly transferable to fitting a PL259 plug are abundant, and most of the guys watching this video have these skills. Even if you don't watch this video, you still have these skills. So it's all about understanding the process and applying a little bit of attention to detail. Countless people fit these connectors successfully every day, often with minimal experience. It's statistically clear that this isn't some sort of Herculean task. The video that you're watching now is from Messi and Poloni. They manufacture connectors and cables, and they're one of the more expensive brands, and they have a good name. And this is on YouTube. Simple search, PL259 connectors, this comes up. And this whole thing runs for about 3 minutes. It just shows you how to do it. It is as simple as that. As I'm talking, you can see it. 3 minutes, real-time video. That's it. What else can I say, guys? Don't overthink it. It's as simple as that. Sometimes the biggest hurdle isn't the technical skill, but simply accepting a proven method. There's a wealth of information available. Videos like these, articles, diagrams, technical specifications, all showing how to do this effectively. Don't be afraid to consult multiple sources. If you find yourself struggling, it often comes down to not fully embracing the established technique, rather than lacking inherent ability. I'm just scrolling down the major suppliers here in Melbourne. Radio Parts, J-Card Electronics, they all seem to be selling the same plugs. J-Card probably the cheapest brand plug, which is not so good, and Radio Parts has better plugs. Cables are relatively good. That's a pretty good cable from Electronics. Radio Parts has good cables as well. When you're looking at these specs, it actually tells you the diameters of these cables. It actually physically tells you what it is, and you can see it. Similarly, if you go to sites like Messi and Poloni, okay, it's not local, but it's good for information. You can actually see what they are talking about. So their plugs are obviously a little bit more expensive, but nevertheless, they are pretty good plugs with the same sort of principle. They have a connector, they have a diameter internally. You've got to make sure that that diameter fits the cable, etc. Well, here on this particular one, they actually tell you compatible with such and such a cable. Now, what I've done, I've grabbed the cable. This cable is the one that I've got previously. Some comments I got is that, yeah, it is difficult to roll back that braid and roll it back across the cable. Well, you don't have to do that technique as was demonstrated by Jason in the first video. You can just cut the cable short, like I've just done here. And it literally takes 10 seconds to roll it back. Just grab it gently and just with your fingers, just roll it back, bit by bit. No big thing. That's it. Just slowly do it. Like, you know, count to 10. It takes 10 seconds to do it. See, just slowly, bit by bit, just fold it back. No magic required. No difficulty. That's it. It's done. That's all you need. You don't need more than that. Okay? Now, you can just get the connector, strip the cable, obviously, which I'm going to do just to sort of prove a point. Sorry, I'm not zooming out here enough, but just bear with me for a second and you'll see exactly what I'm doing. There we go. I'm just making an incision there, and I'm just going to pull that off and clear that particular bit of insulation, and we've got a non-solid core. All right, so now all we have to do is get the connector, slide it on. We know that the diameter will fit, and we just screw that on. 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. We're done. We're done. You can have a look at the inside. There you are, the core. You can see it. That's all you need. And it's all in there. Okay. Now, all you have to do is solder the tip. You can see the tip, the bit coming out. Fortunately, it was just the right length. If not, you just cut it loose. That is it. How long did that take? Don't overthink. Now, if you've got difficulty and you're going to say, oh, well, I haven't got the right connectors and all that. Well, all you have to do, get yourself a set of calipers, right? You can use the calipers without even knowing what the diameters are. Just literally set up the calipers, take them to the shop with you if you're going to be in store. If you're on the internet, you should be able to get the specs. So you get the specs where the connector matches the cable. That's it. If it matches the cable, you're done. If you don't have specs, just do what I'm doing here. You see, the inside diameter of the screw-on will not fit the outside diameter, let alone the braid that will fold back, of the cable. So that connector is no good. Don't buy it. That's it. Forget about it. Now, get yourself another cable or get yourself another connector where the two things match. You can do that by looking it up on a spec sheet, and there's plenty of spec sheets about, which I did earlier, you could see, and I just literally just going to the guys who are selling it. If they don't publish a spec sheet, look it up yourself from the manufacturer. If it's not available, move on, get another plug. Now, this particular plug, higher quality plug, that's the diameter, and voila, this cable matches. It even matches the braid diameter on top. There it goes, you know, it'll fit. So I can screw it on. A little bit of tension, but it'll screw in. That's all it takes. That is it. What else do you need to do? It's not magic. Okay. Anybody can do this.
This is a cable that I did before. This is using the El Cheapo J-Car connector. I think Radio Part sells them as well. The inner diameter of that, I'm not sure. I think it's the 4.3 millimeter one or something like that. It's the smallest diameter. Okay. Here is the cable. This is a Benelec. Benelec, let's have a look. Let's zoom in on that so you can actually see it. Benelec 50 ohms, RG58U, mil spec. There's the batch number, whatever. There's the cable. here's the connector. This is the El Cheapo connector, all right? It's, where is it? It's that one, see? It's that one. Okay, that's the connector that hasn't been put on. This is the connector that's been put on, right? It's the same one. And you can see what's going on inside. If I zoom in on that. Okay. Exactly like I've done before. Heat shrink. Cable. That's it. It works. It's done. Patch cable with El Cheapo, El Cheapo connectors, really cheap ones. Done. Okay, no problem. How long did it take? Probably about 20 minutes with the heat shrink and everything, you know, that's it. 20 minutes to do a cable. And that's taking time, 10 minutes per connector. That includes soldering as well. Okay, the soldering, have a look at the soldering, that's how I did it. That's it. Is it strong? Yeah, it will lift 10, 20 kilos, this one. It's soldered. Okay.
Okay, that was pretty quick cut. Right, no worries. Yes, always very thorough demonstrations as always, and welcome to our newest member on the repeater. So I'm sure we'll see more of you as well. And yeah, interesting to see the early AM nostalgia. So I do remember hearing about it, and I have seen some videos on the internet that some people have done on it, but I can't remember their names. But I did record one. I did burn it to a DVD to keep, but it's on the shelf somewhere, but don't ask me to find it. I've got a lot of DVDs over there. Alright, I don't really have a lot of news for you this week. We went on a 400-something kilometre journey down near Orbost to deliver some stuff that we had. And when we arrived there, a few hours later, we probably started feeling pretty crook. And so we virtually went home the very next day, and like in the morning, and arrived back here about a bit after 8 AM. So it was a very long day. But there you go, all the deliveries are done, so it's all right. And still haven't fixed up the broken, what do you call it, bamboo pole supporting one end of the HF wire in the yard. Haven't got around to doing that yet, so we'll have to get onto that. That's about all I've really got, so yeah, just sort of too many domestic chores and just recovering. So let's see, putting it back to Neil. All right, Neil, I'm on tea, so if you want to come up now, we'll drop carrier, and we might have more to talk to you about next week. But yeah, on a ham radio vein, not really much to report. So.
Right, well, what a mess. Pressed the wrong button. Yeah, thanks there, Mick. Yeah, thanks for coming up. I know you only had a short session there. Anyway, I'm going to show you some amateur TV, if I get the right one. AM TV, okay. So AM was really hard. It was really, really hard. Now that's on the left there is a received signal from Dennis YLH to Rob VK3IE right across town. So you can tell that it's Dennis. And that one on the right, would you believe, is me being received at Dennis 3YLH's house. And I was running about 50 watts, so that's on 400 megs, about 50 watts. Now I can see Dennis and he can see me on 1200 megs easily on FM or DATV, so AM was hard. It was fun, it was seriously fun. It was good fun, and it was always simplex, of course. A lot of it was simplex, so there's a lot more you can say about the old AM days, but a few of us have been reminiscing recently, so thought some of the new guys might find that interesting. So that's about it for this evening. I think I've covered all my bases. Let me think now. Don't think... actually, one of the very early adapters of amateur TV was Les Jenkins, whose name people may know, VK3ZBJ. He was a very, very early ATVer and certainly got things rolling. And of course, Peter Cousins goes back to the very, very early days as well as Peter Wolferton, VK3RV. So some names there. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. It's been good. So we'll see you all next week. So please tune in next week and we'll catch you all later. See you next week. Bye.